Hello Libra, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. How are you, my beautiful and lovely creatives? I hope you're well. I'm here to read for you. You know what we're doing this week for everybody? We're doing 3 hands, and I haven't done that in a while. I'll do that sometimes. I'll do 3 different hands, but I am going to call that energy, and we're going to be doing finances, career, and we're going to do love as well. So, welcome Libra. If you've never been here before, I do this reading once a week for you. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. If you're here because you're back and you're always coming back, I appreciate you. Thank you for the thumbs up. It does help the algorithm see us and encourages other Libras to join the tribe. Let's find out what's going on here for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And if you want to hang out at the end of the video, I will talk about all the sales that I have going on, quite a few, for private readings, and also where to find the extended if you're interested in that. Let's find out what's going on for Libra. Let's talk about finances first. Tell me about financial things for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Ace of Cups. We've got the Chariot. Something is about to make you really happy. It feels like all eyes are going to be on you for some reason here. There is the Six of Wands, which is it's victory. It is success, having success in something, and I feel like this success is coming quickly. It's going to make you happy, but also excited. It feels like you're about to have more attention than you usually have, and I feel like it's coming quick. The Chariot energy is here. Tell me more about this. We've got the Knight of Swords, we've got the Three of Wands, and we've got the King of Cups. The Queen of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. It does feel like there is going to be an opportunity for you to have some peace, I'm going to say. The Ace of Cups is telling me that it's going to be some sort of mental peace in terms of your finances. There is some sort of an opportunity for you to get out in front of somebody in the public. Maybe it'll be online. Maybe you'll get a lot of attention online, or maybe it's your business. Maybe your business is about to get a lot of attention. Maybe a lot of people flooding into your website, or maybe you're somebody who is a creative. I always see Libra as a creative. So maybe you are someone who throws clay, or someone who's an artist, like you're a painter or a sculptor, or maybe a musician, but you're about to be thrown in the spotlight, or you're about to get some sort of attention, I would say. We do have the Three of Wands here. This tells me this is happening in the future. It could be in the week ahead for some of you, but please remember that, although I'm reading for the week ahead, that not all of you are on this particular place in your life right now, right? Some of you might be a brand new artist who is just learning your craft at this time. So for those of you who are on this timeline here, I feel like in the future that there is some sort of adoration or a spotlight, or maybe you'll be on a stage or something, because the Six of Wands traditionally is somebody who's coming back from the fight or the war, but is getting a lot of attention, and people are cheering them on. So it could be your family, it could be your clients, it could be you're on stage and other people, or maybe they're looking at your art in an art gallery. I don't know, something like that. But it feels like with the King of Cups here, it feels like there is some sort of emotional happiness that is going to be showing up for you, but it's also mental. The King of Cups here is like, I feel like you're quite a modest person, I'm going to say, when it comes to your achievements. So it feels like this attention that you receive, I feel you receive it not only because probably you're beautiful to look at, but that you are very bold in what you do. So it means like you're not scared to be the center of attention, right? This is this is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And so, they're not really scared to take the spotlight. And so I feel like you're not scared to take the spotlight. And I feel like that's going to be your big, bold move. So you're going to set up a website for your business, or you're going to finally get on stage, or you're going to finally, display something at an art gallery. Maybe you're a photographer, but it feels like somebody is going to see it, or a bunch of people are going to see it. And it's going to cause financial wealth. It's going to cause people to buy your wares, or to pay to see you, or something like that. Tell me about the Chariot, please. We've got victory because everything is changing, and it's changing quickly. So look, what I do know about you, Libra, is that you like to stay in balance. And when you don't, things get a little bit dicey around you, right? When things get out of balance. And so the Wheel of Fortune is always an indication of change, but it is because of divine timing or destiny. So destiny is about to get involved, and then we do have the Knight of Wands, which is a little bit unstable. So I'm going to say that there is going to be a moment of instability. You're not necessarily going to be in balance, but it will come back into balance, because the Ten of Pentacles is about moving slowly and getting stability. This is good health, good wealth, good home life. It feels like things go out of balance for a little bit, but I think it's because something is shifting. There's an energy shift, or something in your life is shifting that is going to put you in a spotlight or bring a lot of business to your website, or whatever it is. For those of you who have a business, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, it feels like something here is going to bring more money, is what it is. And more people showing up quickly equals more money. And so I feel like this Three of Wands is telling me that this is going to be the future energy. We do have the Six of Wands and 3, which is 9. And so I feel like you've been working tirelessly at something. Could be your craft, maybe your website, maybe building a business. But it feels like you're feeling a little bit burnt out emotionally from all of the emotional energy you've been putting into building whatever this thing is that's going to bring you your financial influx here. Yeah, it does feel like you've been in the planning stages of something here, trying to bring some sort of a wish fulfillment to justice. So the King of Swords is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. We do have Justice, which is your card. This is Libra energy. The Justice is essentially that, being in balance. We do see the balancing of the scales, and you can see that these two scales are a little bit out of balance. And so that's why I was saying that when the Knight of Wands gets involved, the Knight of Wands travels really quickly and is very brave, but is also taking risks, understand? So I feel like you're about to take some sort of a financial risk that pays off, which means you're putting more money, influx of money into your business. You're buying something, a website, maybe web space, or hiring someone to help you with the business. It feels like it's a strategic move, though, because the King of Swords is here. So I feel like in the future, you're making a strategic move that does pay off, because Justice is about things coming back into balance, or being restored. And so I feel it's because of some sort of hope or wish fulfillment here, that something you've been in this wish fulfillment mode of manifesting something that will hopefully pay off in the end, and I think it will. All right. Tell me more about this. We've got the Two of Wands, we've got the Three of Pentacles, and the Empress. Empress is your energy. That is Libra and Taurus energy. So whatever's about to happen for you financially is going to bring you into a place of financial stability. And not to say that you didn't have it now, but maybe you'll have whatever you have now plus a bit to put in the bank. So the Empress is somebody who's very abundant, who also doesn't really need it or has detached from it, but is putting in the hard work. Somebody who does it on their own. It's like you did it on your own, and you didn't really need the help. You may have hired help, but I don't think that you really needed the help. It comes from something that you learned, I feel, through a group, a network, possibly your community. I feel like if it's something that didn't have a whole lot of stability or footing, it's gaining momentum now, because we see that the Knight of Swords is here. Somebody's going to say something to you that I feel is going to make you really happy about some sort of opportunity that's coming in for you to make more money. We have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Twos are always about making decisions, and the Seven of Swords is about not being unsure, because there's something that's cloaked or something you can't see, something that is hidden here, and I feel like you maybe don't trust the situation, but I feel like you are going to make a decision based on practicality, based on what you know, based on what the King of Swords knows. So just make sure that you apply your mental prowess, I'm going to say, because that's who the king is. The kings are people who have mastered something, and I think that you've mastered the mind, or you're a really good thinker, or you're very strategic, or you always do the thing that's best for you, but also best for everyone involved. So I feel like this is not really anything you have to worry about, the Seven of Swords. Generally, it is something that's being concealed or cloaked, or it is something that possibly you don't yet trust. I'm going to say make sure that you have all the details before you make a decision, make sure everything's in balance, and then go for it, because we do have the King of Wands here. We also have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is the one who's digging up all the information. Make sure you dig up whatever information you need before you take a leap here, but I feel like you're headed straight towards your destiny, my friend. Everything is about to change, shift, and everything is about to show up in a very good way in terms of your finances. Look, when the Wheel of Fortune is here with the Ten of Pentacles, it just means something's about to explode. Like you're about to come on the scene and everybody sees you, and all of a sudden there's an influx of finances because of it, is what it looks like. All right. Let's talk about your career, my friend. Let's talk about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra and their career energy for the week ahead. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra. Tell me about Libra, please. Tell me about Libra. We've got the Chariot, we've got the Five of Cups, and we've got the Justice card. I feel like in your career, you feel like you're stuck. I want to say you feel like you're stuck, and I think it's because of the Five of Cups. I'm going to say that there's somebody here who's playing a little bit, who's playing it small, I think, because the Justice card is here. I feel like you feel as if you bust through the glass ceiling, like go to the next level, I would say, in your career, that it's going to cause things to be out of balance. And I feel like that's a worry, that you might not be happy, or that that the stability that you have so far might be rocked. Like it feels like that. The Chariot in the reverse tells me, though, if you don't do something, you're going to remain stuck, although in balance, but stuck there. So tell me more about your career. I think you're scared to make a move because you don't want, the Five of Cups is about having regret. You don't want to have regret. You don't want to be sad that it didn't work out. I feel like you don't, I feel like you're not trusting the mind, or trusting that the balance will remain if you decide to do something different. The Fool is here. And so the Fool is here saying, look, the door is open to the new chapter, but you have to be willing to walk through the door. The Fool also carries this wand, and on the end of the wand is a little pouch. They don't take a whole lot with them to the next chapter. They actually have to leave some things behind, and that also might be a problem. Maybe there's something here that you don't want to leave behind, which is a comfort zone. It could be, because the Four of Pentacles is here. You might have to be vulnerable. Now, if you are a person who is a creative, you know that whether you sing or play music, or your art, or you're a photographer, or maybe a painter, or a potter, whatever it is, you know that if you don't get your art out there in front of somebody, maybe you're a writer, that it's going to be stuck, right? And I feel like the next step for you is taking on the spotlight. And so it feels like you are comfortable in the place that you're in. But it's unfortunately a place of invulnerability. So I think as it comes to your career, you have to make the next move or go to the next level and bust out of this place of financial comfort. I feel like you make enough. I'm going to say you make enough to pay the bills, to pay the house, to pay the mortgage, the car, but maybe you just don't have a whole lot of extra. Maybe you'd love a lot more extra so you could travel or add something to your career, or maybe take time away, or maybe quit your job to find another and have the financial means by which to do that. We do have the Three of Swords. So I feel like there is a decision that needs to be made here in terms of your career, no matter what it is that you do. Maybe you're in an office environment. Maybe you're the one who is the brains of the outfit. I'm talking swords, right? Because the air signs are quite smart, right? You guys are always thinking things out. I feel like the Three of Swords is connected to the Five of Cups. I feel like you feel as though you're scared to make the next move, or go to the next level, or quit your job and go to the next job, or book the gig, or book the museum, or whatever it is. It's like you have a fear of that, and you must break through this Four of Swords in order to be able to go to the next level. Now, for some of you, that might look like classes, or it might look like voice lessons, or, it might look like you're going to hire somebody and bring them in to to critique your work. Look, we are in Mercury retrograde shadow, and this is going to be the worst speaking time for me until about mid-August, so just be kind, because I'm already tripping over my words. Oh my gosh. Tell me about the Five of Cups. What's your biggest worry here? We've got the Ace of Cups, we've got the Page of Pentacles, and we've got the Four of Swords. I think you're overthinking it. I feel as though there is a new opportunity that is sort of bearing down on you, or maybe it's already standing and looking at you here, but it feels like it's a small opportunity. And I think you're going to love it. That's the thing with the Ace of Cups here. I feel like it really does fulfill the heart space. It's really what you want to do with your time and your energy. It feels like it doesn't pay a lot, but I feel like it might be something that you do on the side of your job, of your 9 to 5, or whatever it is you do for a main source of income. It feels like there is, it feels like you're being asked to walk through this new door. The Fool is the beginning of the chapter, of the life chapter, right? It goes from the Fool to the World card, and you're at the very beginning of something here. So I feel like right now you're feeling stuck. You're scared to walk through the door because you're in this comfort zone, because it might rock your balance here. And how are you going to do that if you decide to move? You just got to do it. Oh, okay. Well, the Tower just showed up. You know what it is I feel like if you don't take that moment to go to the next level, I feel like you're kicked out of the nest by the universe. So the Tower is here. And so when the Tower shows up, this is something that's out of your control. And the major arcana, so the Fool card, the Chariot, this card of Libra, this Justice card, and the Tower are all cards that are called universal cards. And those cards are coming at you. Those opportunities, those things are happening, and you can only react or respond. So those things are changes, life path changes that are showing up for you here. So the Tower is telling me here that there is a shift coming, and it's coming fast and hard, my friends. So I feel like if you don't make the decision to get out of this comfort zone here, where you're kind of shut off and shut down, and I'm making enough money, don't worry about me, I feel like the universe has other plans for you. And when the shift of energy comes, it's because you've been building some sort of an illusion, and it's time for all of that to fall apart so we can move forward. You got to get out of your head. The universe is trying to shake you awake and say, look, there's far more celebration, happiness, stability that will come to you should you decide to move ahead. And even if you don't decide to do it, the universe is pushing you forward. I feel like you are going to be learning the energy of the Queen of Wands, who is bold, who doesn't mind if people are pointing and laughing as she falls down and skins her knees because she tried it and it didn't work out. I feel like you're being taught to forge yourself through fire. And so it's time for you to walk through the fire. Even though you're afraid, walk through it anyway. It's time for you to do it. But if you don't, I feel like the universe is going to push you out there. And it's going to be terrifying. It's going to work out, but it's going to be terrifying. I feel like this is the place that you're at right now. This is what it feels like, but I don't want to. I'm not really sure that I want things to change. I want to remain in balance. I feel like you're in indecision right now. So I feel like something's about to change, whether you want it to or not. And it's in order to build some sort of a foundation of the Emperor energy for you, so you become in control of everything. I feel like you're sort of outsourcing your time. Maybe you have a job and a side gig. Maybe you do a 9 to 5 and you're a musician on the side, or you do a 9 to 5 but you love to be on YouTube, or you love to paint. I feel like you're being pushed into doing whatever your side hustle is. You're being pushed to do that full time, and I feel like you're going to be really good at it. And from the looks of your financial reading, it's going to bring a lot of money. All right, let's look at love. Libra, tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's talk about love when it comes to Libra energy, please. Tell me about love for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about love when it comes to Libra. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, the Devil energy, and we have the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Emperor energy here with the Hanged Man. All right. So when the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse for me, it's like you're dealing in Groundhog Day. I want to say that the Wheel of Fortune is telling me that destiny is about to change things, but it's not right now. I feel like you've been in this energy of maybe a dry spell. Maybe you're not dating anybody, or if you're in a relationship, it feels like the relationship feels like Groundhog Day. Work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. Hi, how you doing? Let's have dinner, work, eat, sleep. You know what I mean? So I feel like something is about to change here, but first it feels like you have to reconnect. You have to be in the energy of wanting to reconnect or wanting to work harder on something, or you need to want it. The Five of Pentacles, when it's in the upright, is about disconnection. It's about having lack in your life, or financial lack. And I don't think that you have financial lack anymore, but I also feel like the Five of Pentacles in the reverse tells me reconnection. It's time for you to reconnect to society, reconnect to your feelings, your heart space, whatever it is, to prepare you for what might be coming in love. Because when the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse, it feels to me like it's not yet time for change, but I feel like you've gotten stuck in some sort of a obsessive pattern here. Like it feels like I'm doing this because it feels like it's going round and round. And so it feels like you're not necessarily happy there, but it's a place where you have decided that you're going to stay for now because you're not in favor of change. So in terms of love, it feels like this is where you feel in control. The most in control you feel is when you have an attachment to the Devil energy. You might be working too much. You might be thinking too much. And maybe that's what you're telling yourself. I just don't have time to reconnect at this point. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. The Judgment card is here. And we have the Queen of Swords, the Magician on the bottom of the deck with the King of Cups. Oh, the World card is here. So I do feel like possibly the week ahead is not the time, I'm going to say, with the Wheel of Fortune being in the reverse. I don't think that this takes place in the week ahead, but I do feel that there needs to be some sort of a balance in the mind about what your expectations are. I feel like the universe with the Judgment card is telling me that you are sort of being pushed to invest your time or your energy into something or someone. First, you got to get yourself out there. You have to decide what you want, because the Ace of Pentacles is taking you on a journey, right? We go from the Ace to the 10, right? It's taking you on a journey in the 3D, but first you must reconnect in the 3D. I feel like the Queen of Swords tells me that you're very logical, that you're very honest and truthful, but that sometimes that you place logic on everything. Look, I don't see any cups here, so I don't see you as reconnecting to your emotions. And I feel like you sort of look at love or romance in a very logical way, and I feel like you kind of need to get a push out of that energy. Now, this is the energy that I feel that you're comfortable in because you're liberated here. You know what to say. It feels like you do a really great communication part at the very beginning, but it's the emotional part. I don't see any cups. It's the emotional part that might be hard for you. Bottom of the deck is the future energy for me. We do have the King of Cups here, and we have the World card. I feel like when you finally decide that you are ready, emotionally available, that it is time for you to connect emotionally, I feel like that's when you come out of this hiding place, I want to say. And the Magician here being you have all the resources, all the skills. I feel like you have good game, but you have to want to get out there and play the game. I'm going to say you're very attractive to other people, and I feel like you are looking for, like, you know, ultimate happiness. 10 of Cups is what that is. You're looking for ultimate happiness or a relationship that is emotionally happy, but first you've got to feel the feelings. Tell me why the Five of Pentacles is in the reverse. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the Queen of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles again, no cups. So you're looking at this in a very practical way. Yeah, I'll get back out there. I'll make a bold move when I'm ready. I'll get back out there. I feel like right now your focus is probably on your Pentacle world, making money, moving money, spending money. It feels like you've gone through a bit of a glow up, and the glow up I feel is probably either financial or physical. Like it feels like you you look different. Maybe you've lost some weight or changed your hair or bought new clothes. And it feels like this was a very slow moving process for you. You're going to be very careful and practical and move very slowly because although the changes are bold, I feel like you would prefer things to move in a very slow and organized way. So I feel like this is all in preparation to reconnect to society, a social group, maybe the dating life, something like that. The Judgment card is here, and when the Judgment card is here, it can also mean that something is coming back around. Now, maybe there is a connection with maybe a Queen of Swords, somebody you found intellectually stimulating. And this person here, this is Libra, by the way, that somebody here, I feel that maybe you've seen a couple times or coming back around. Now, listen, when the Judgment card is here, it's because whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. And I think that there's someone that keeps coming back round that is about to come back round again. And you're about to reconnect to them. Tell me who this is. Tell me what this is. We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got the Hermit energy. I feel like this is someone you've been thinking about, but at the time when you met up with them or met them, I don't think that you really were in the mood for a relationship. So maybe you'd been hurt, right? Nine of Wands is here. Three of Swords tells me that you'd been hurt, that you are the wounded warrior, and maybe it was a while ago, but you'd not yet recovered from it. The Hermit energy does bring healing and light, so I feel like you have recently gone into this Hermit energy, finding your light, becoming more spiritual. And I feel like now you're ready to meet this person again or see them again. So this could be someone who's coming back around because the Judgment card is here and we are in Mercury retrograde energy, which usually brings people, situations back around so you can resolve them. We're going to go into the extension and we're going to talk about this, Libra. There's a whole lot more for us to talk about. What's divine timing? When is things going to happen? When will things change? When does it bring someone into your presence? We've got a lot of questions to ask here because currently I feel like right now you're holding back in favor of your balance. Libra energy again. So if you're interested in coming into the extension, please look in the pinned comment. In the pinned comment at the top of all the comments, you will see a few things. You'll see a link for the membership area, which is where all of my extendeds are if you're interested in seeing the rest of the extendeds for any of the other signs as well. Also, if you would like to see the extended and just purchase for only this reading, please look for the link. It's also in the pinned comment. And I'm also doing private readings. So there is a sale on right now, 10% off of my pre-recorded readings. And if you would like that, please take that code from the pinned comment and go over to Hypsee. There is a link in the pinned comment there. And I'm also doing live readings. Did a couple of those today. Enjoyed speaking to people so much. So if you would like a real-time view on what's going on, as many questions as you can ask, as many as I can answer for you in the time frame you have selected, you will get a discount just for booking in advance for a live reading. So I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, that's where I'll be. And if this is where we break away from each other, that's okay, because I'll be back, because I'm always back with more readings. Take care, Libra. Happy Sunday. Bye-bye.